Night Live 13.
13. Yeah.
Craig here from Aussie Metal Detecting.
Yep.
Again, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, love to be here.
And yes, and tonight we're going to talk about coils.
We're on to coils.
Coils.
Yep.
Yes, we could fill a whole night with coils.
We could. 2 nights.
And then tonight's giveaway is going to be one of these little shiny things. It's actually a USB stick, but it's in the shape of a gold bar, and we're going to give it away for someone who shares the stream tonight.
Righto.
So we're just going to randomly pick someone.
Yep.
Oh, and it's not just a USB. It's actually got all of my gold locations on it. It's got 12,000 waypoints on it that you can load on Google Earth or Aussie Explorer or any of those programs, and it's got all the waypoints for the gold mines, old and new and historical stuff. So
That'd be worth a bit of money, wouldn't it, Ben, all that info?
it would be, but I've collected it over a period of time. We don't sell them. We actually just, if you buy a prospecting machine off us, we just give you one.
That's pretty good.
So
That's good value.
yeah, it is good value.
Good,
So
good incentive to come down and buy a machine.
Yes. So what's been going on with you, Craig?
Well, mate, I've been out and doing some relics.
Yep.
And chasing coins, as
Yep.
I like doing. Military stuff, obviously, that if you guys remember right.
I noticed there's a lot of stuff on you that you've been doing on your YouTube channel and your group sort of thing. So that looks like you've had a lot of.
Yep.
You've been out. Have you been out a fair bit this week?
Yeah, actually, I went
Because you
out.
had a crook arm at one stage, didn't you?
Yeah, I did have a bit of a problem there, and swinging the CTX, as you know, is very heavy, so that can absolutely cane my arm out. But no, it's been pretty good now. Went out yesterday. I went to a World War II site and got some really nice bottles, and I pulled out a cracker. I got a base of a shell, so it's a big solid. I think it's a 109 mil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big artillery shell base, but it was trench art. So it took me a little while after scrubbing it right back, but it actually had been scooped out.
Oh, really?
For cigarettes. So it's, they made an ashtray out of it.
Oh, wow.
So it ended up to be a soldier's trench art. So that was good. I love finding that stuff.
Yeah,
really personal.
That's awesome, that. Yeah, because you don't see much of that big stuff as trench art. It's normally little bits and, clippings of coins and coins going into a ring, halfway through and all that sort of stuff.
True.
So there's not a whole stack of that stuff around, is there? Like the big stuff. So.
No. And this was actually lying in it was in a dump pit or a burn pit, as we call it. So, a lot of the soldiers that throw all the personal effects and a lot of the rubbish in there and bottles and whatnot and burn it all up and try and get rid of it.
Yeah. And was there much else in that same hole?
Yeah, there was a lot of clips from army belts, canteen clips, and assorted things like that you find in there, studs.
Okay. So that whole pit was pretty rich in
finds.
In bits and pieces,
absolutely.
Sort of thing. So,
some amazing bottles. If you go on to Aussie Metal Detecting, you'll see the post up there and what I found.
You put some up on your YouTube channel too, didn't you?
I do. I haven't put the latest video up yet, so that's still to be produced. But if you have a look in the last one, I found a Rising Sun and some nice
I saw a Rising
Sun
come out. No.
That was the latest video.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. We've got 19 people here at the moment.
Hey folks.
We don't know who they are because I'm still just trying to get the comments up here.
Yep.
So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, that's what I'm trying to do. So, but yeah, so let's just let's have a quick chat about coils.
Rightio.
The wonderful world of coils.
Right. Where do you want to start, Ben?
Well,
do you want to start with double Ds?
Yeah, let's start with double D. Let's start with the difference between double Ds and concentric, and we've got a bit of a graphic here.
Fantastic.
And we'll just shrink us down so everyone can see it.
That's it.
So, do you want to just take us through what the difference between a double D and a concentric coil?
Concentric coil,
Yep.
absolutely. All right, so on the far left-hand side there, you'll see quite a large one there, that Garrett coil there. That one is a double D coil. And the one on the right is a concentric coil. Now, they both operate slightly different. You'll have, let's have a look at the field, the actual viewing field of the signal below the actual coil. So you're on a double D coil, that's it, that's perfect, Ben.
Yep.
So you can see on a double D, it's more of a cone-shaped signal and a very sharp signal.
So the double D's the green there.
Yes,
on
that's
that,
correct.
that picture there.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And the concentric signal is more a rounded signal. So you can almost imagine like a ball signal going underneath the concentric. So you're going to get more of a wider view underneath, whereas a double D coil, you get more of a sharp and narrow signal. Now, the benefits for a double D is in high trashy areas. You can actually distinguish more, as you can see up there on the board on the far left-hand side. You can actually see where the green is picking up the target of the coin, and then you've got the nail slightly to the left. So that is actually going to decipher the better target away from the scrap.
So a double D coil, you can just pick out those targets a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot more
absolutely,
easily. Yeah.
in high trash areas.
Yep.
I'll give you a
we
quick...
actually haven't got a concentric coil here, actually.
No, we don't.
No.
But I do have, this one here is a Nell 5/8 coil. So this particular coil here would be suited to high trashy areas.
Hang on, let me just bring it
That's
up.
better.
Bigger here.
That's a really good coil to use in high trashy areas. So you're going to get that very narrow signal.
Yep. Whereas
smashing
this
through.
coil, being bigger,
That one there on the CTX.
Yep. Wouldn't be able to pick that trash out as well as what a little coil.
Well, this is the interesting part about it with the CTX and the different machines.
Yep.
So this particular coil works, yes, being a double D, it's going to work very similar, if not the same, as this one here.
Yep.
But with the electronics in this machine, it actually works more of a bit of both. So you're kind of using it like, it works, you get that bigger signal, right? And the electronics is deciphering it a lot quicker and better than other machines. Whereas the more of a simple machine,
like an ACE or
like an ACE,
or some of those sort of machines.
On an ACE, more simpler machine like that, you're going to rely on a good coil like this. This basically is your business end of the machine. So you've got to look after these coils. There's a lot of high-tech electronics in the CTX, which is going to decipher that a lot better. For example, last time I was on, I was describing that you can download special software online, right? And you can actually use that. That software actually will work to your advantage with that particular coil, so you don't have to. I don't know if you've got it, Ben, but there's a photo there of a 6-inch coil for this particular machine.
Yes, is that the Coiltech? No.
No, it was a Minelab coil. It may not be in there.
No, I
that's okay.
That's
fine. But you can
just
actually
to give
buy
you, like there's a range of coils. There's a little little sharp coil there. That's a little tiny coil. That's only 3 or 4 inches across, that coil.
Exactly.
It says 5-inch there, but it looks smaller than 5-inch.
Yeah. But that coil up there, the sharp coil that Ben's talking about, we call as a sniper coil. So you would use those in high trash areas. It is a double D coil, so you've got that nice tight signal. You don't have that ball signal, you've got that more of a narrow signal, so it is going to decipher those a lot easier. With the concentric, if you go into a high trashy area, having that more of a ball signal, then you're going to pick up a lot more targets, and it's going to be a lot more confusing for that machine to try and decipher it. So that's where using the double Ds are more beneficial. They have a lot of those, as you can see in the display there, you've got a lot of coils that are larger coils. So if you want to go a lot deeper, then a larger coil is the go rather than the smaller coils. These, if you want to go, say, on the beach or something like that, Ben tends to hunt a lot on the beach for deeper targets.
Yep.
That's the coil that you would probably not use. You'd probably want something which is a bit bigger to go deeper.
Yeah. So the basics. Let's just get us up a little bit bigger. So I suppose the basics of coils is a big giant coil goes deep.
Yep.
Right. This is my understanding. Big giant coil goes deep. Little tiny coil goes fairly shallow.
Yep.
The machine, any machine, has only got a certain amount of power if you don't change the settings, right?
Absolutely.
So a big coil going deeper, the signal's more, it's not technically correct this, but it's easy to understand. So a big coil, because there's only X amount of power going in, the signal is spread out, right? So you're more likely to miss small pieces. If you've got a little tiny coil in and it's not going very deep, the signal's so condensed that you don't miss a single piece. And that's why you'll find that I tend to put a smaller coil on the max, for instance, when I'm going prospecting, because I want to find every little tiny piece.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly
and that's
right.
probably the best way I can describe
Yep.
people that technically understand all this stuff would just be cringing with
Oh,
my
of course they would.
explanation. But I tell you what, it's easy to understand. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So we'll just say good day to a few people here. Jacob's here, and Cameron and Brian. G'day, Brian. How are you? Rodney and David. Who else have we got here? Warren's here. G'day,
Hey,
Warren.
Warren.
How you going? Ricky.
Trisha's here.
Trisha, how you going, Trisha?
Trisha.
Sorry I didn't get back to you. You asked whether it was on tonight. I only just saw it before the show, so.
Yeah, that's all right. I put it up on Aussie anyway. She probably saw that.
Yeah. Trisha's got a Japanese coin with a hole drilled in it. Some of those, I don't know. Certainly the Chinese coins were made that way.
The cash coins.
Yeah, the cash coins.
Cash,
I don't know about the early Japanese coins.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of that.
That might be
it'd
something
be good to see. Definitely.
And Trevor's here, and Bradley, and Michael. How you going, guys? Lisa's here. Bruce. Oh, there's a lot of people here.
Bradley. Yeah, I know a lot
Yep.
of these names.
So,
Hey guys.
yeah. So I love the
Welcome.
17. Evan runs the 7-inch coil on the 30-30 on the beach, which I've never run. Have you? You haven't got a 17?
No, I haven't got one of those. I heard
That's a
they're pretty
decent
good.
sized coil.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll punch deep.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Evan's got the 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the CTX, they
Yeah.
are great. I want one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa won the gold pan for last week.
Oh,
from last week, she's
congratulations.
already got it.
Yeah.
So great
Has
job,
she used
Lisa.
it yet?
She hasn't as yet. She can't wait to use it. So,
Right.
so that is a rough explanation of size and depth
Yep.
and what they're fine.
Exactly.
So you would use a double D coil. Let's just go back to that picture. A double D coil. You would use that mostly. Do you use concentric coils or mono coils at all?
No. All my equipment I don't use. I don't own a concentric coil.
Yep.
Oh wait, my son did have an Ace 150.
Yep.
Which had a concentric on it.
Yep.
And that was a good little machine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
We're finding little coins and
Yep.
things with it. He was enjoying it. But
So for prospecting, I'm the other way. I like using monocoils.
oh, the monos are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for instance, on my ACX, I like to use that little 8-inch monocoil.
Yep.
It is just for
How do you find
fine gold.
Yep.
It is just amazing. It's just. I think it's the ATX's best coil.
Yep.
By a country mile.
Warren was using that too on his.
I think Warren from ManQ Explorers. I think Warren. I saw Warren there before.
Yep.
He uses it a lot, sort of thing. He likes it as well. So.
Did you want to talk about the mono loops?
Yeah. So actually, what I might do from a prospecting point of view, we might just get into, we might just have a look at this. I've got a little graphic here that just shows what the difference is in highly mineralised ground, what we're actually talking about. So in highly mineralised ground, the double D coil is going to be a better coil to use in heavily mineralised ground. In saying that, I don't think it's as sensitive to small gold. So for little tiny bits, now when I say monocoil, concentric coil, same coil. Yep. That's for the point of the argument. So, so I tend not to use the double D coil in a lot of situations with the ATX because, particularly where I go prospecting, it's a lot of small, tiny nuggets.
Yep.
And I don't think
a lot in Queensland.
Yeah, and I don't think the double D coil is sensitive enough to pick up those little tiny nuggets.
No, I was reading that too somewhere there.
Yeah, so that graphic there shows that it's you would want to go to a double D coil as the mineralisation gets higher, right? And I think if you're looking for large targets, that's absolutely correct. Yep. But for little targets, I would think that, you know...
So that'll work in WA with the bigger nuggets.
You're probably running a double D coil over there. Although the ground... See, the ground's just as mineralised in WA as what it is in Warwick, for instance, where I prospect a lot, but the gold's bigger. So...
definitely. That's interesting.
So, while I believe that's true for a bigger target, for little tiny nuggets, it just seems like you're missing the small targets with the double D coil. And that's just from experience by having a double D coil and someone finding a little nugget and saying, "Can you hear that?" You know, and the double D coil, those little tiny nuggets, they don't like them that much. So,
I think it was Warren was talking about that. Some time back, we were having a discussion about that with you. And
So, right.
Wow, there you go.
Trevor got the cap a couple of weeks back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Good on you, Trev.
So,
no worries. Hope you get some use out of it.
But he reckons it's been in the field already, sort of thing.
Great, good. Get some dirt on it, mate. That's what we want.
So, this is getting fairly technical, but Warren makes a point here. Mono-loop coils are pulse induction coils, really. It's the
the windings.
Windings are different, sort of thing. So, and it's a bit complicated, but have you got some information
I've got
there?
Some information here about that, and where is it now? Large coils.
So.
That's all right. I think I'm going to troll through this. I'm going to miss it, mate.
Yeah, that's all right. So, just while we're here, don't forget to share this this live stream while we're live. And at the end of this, you got the chance of winning. We'll randomly pick this from someone who shared it. That's a USB stick with 12,000 of my waypoints on it across Australia. So normally they're only if you buy a machine office. So and you can load that on Google Earth or Aussie Explorer or any of those sort of programs. They're just GPS points. So
sure. I found it here. I've got it here.
Oh, good.
Coil configuration: double Ds versus monoloop. Double Ds use two back-to-back D-shaped windings which overlap down the centre of the coil. The left winding is generally the transmit winding and the right winding is the receiving winding. In a monoloop, a single winding is used to transmit and receive, which creates an inverted cone-shaped detection field.
Which is a pulse induction. That's a pulse induction work sort of thing. So it's very... the technology and the theory behind the coils is like... You could have that...
Mate, you
need a PhD degree to understand. That's why I break it down to...
Exactly, you've got to keep it simple.
So...
I just thought I'd touch on some of that tonight because that is very interesting, and the different coils the more complicated machines you're using, obviously more complicated electronics and technology to use that, but more simpler machines, I think you've got to get the right coil. The right coil is going to make your machine in the area that you're, you know, whatever you're chasing.
Yeah.
Like you just said, touching on the size of the nuggets.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's the thing, like, I'll go to WA on this prospecting trip, and I'll probably take a double D coil with me because the size of it. So for different conditions, I'll put a different coil on. But I still think I love using that ATX with the little mono coil on it. It's
great machine. It really is.
Yeah. So you know, and this is what I'm using tomorrow. I've got a bit of a trip tomorrow. I'm running the
Deus.
The XP Deus, and I've put a fairly large coil on it. For the ground we're going into, we want to punch a bit deep tomorrow because we're actually looking for a little a dump tomorrow.
Relic hunting tomorrow.
Relic hunting tomorrow. I don't do a lot of it, so I'm looking for Craig and Warren are coming. We're going out together, so
see what we can find.
I need educating for relic hunting.
I think you'll be educating me with the Deus, mate.
Oh, I might be educating myself with the Deus. But yeah, I'll need some pointers on how to do these relics.
Yeah,
so,
for sure, mate.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out, mate. We'll get some posts up.
Oh yeah, well, if I find anything, I thought I might put a video up too.
Oh,
so
find something. There'll be something out there, mate.
Yeah, alfoil. That's what I'm good at. So
I find a lot of that too.
Yeah.
It's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Oh well, it is.
You got to go through the rubbish to get the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's why you need a lot of patience in this thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It stretches my patience.
You got to dig some holes. That's the trick to it. So, who else have we got here?
Who we got?
Brian. What was that question?
Says,
how many coils do people have that they have on hand? Brian, so for gold prospecting, I normally run 1 or 2 coils. But if I find a patch of gold, I will put as many coils as I possibly can on it because those coils will react differently to the ground.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I want to go over it and pick I'll even, like you can even, so let's say the patch of gold that we found with that AT Max, right? It went over with, we went over it with an ATX with 3 different types of coils, I think it was. Then we went over it, I believe we've put an AT Gold over it. We've put, we put all these different machines over it, and each time a little bit more came, a little bit more. It's not like the first time where everything finds it, but the machine, the frequency of the machine reacts differently with the coil. So every machine has got a slightly different frequency, and so it will bring up more targets. That's what we find with gold, particularly on those little tiny pieces.
So you're using a 5/8 coil double D with the Max?
Yes, that's my preferred coil.
The Garrett one?
The Garrett one. Although I reckon an L coil about that size, because that's a 5x9, I think.
Yeah, it is actually a 5x9.
Yeah. So I reckon that's would probably be a step up from the 5x8 coil.
Yep.
I think that'd be much better. So
something interesting too, if I can jump in quickly.
Yeah, jump.
This particular coil I have used quite a bit on my AT Pro. Now you can take that to the max, and here's something very interesting that you guys probably didn't realise, and I have proved this, but you can actually take your AT Pro coils, and this has got on it, AT Pro, straight over to the max, and they do work on the max.
Do you... Like I was looking at the Nell website there today, for instance. They're saying, the new max coils are coming, right?
Okay.
I question whether... The only thing I question is whether you're getting the same performance against the actual one designed for the max.
That's got to be proved.
Because
I even though I've put it on there and I've what do you call it, air tested it, right, to make sure that it works. Out in the field with the max.
How do you know?
You don't know. You've got to give it a go. So that's something to be explored. But getting back to this coil, using it on say the AT Pro or something like that, mate, they are fantastic. Right. They've just got a little bit of an edge on the Garrett 8x5, which I own both. I've got the 8x5 sitting on the Pro right now because we still use it.
So And they are dramatically, they are a big, you notice the difference in them.
You do. Yeah. And there's another one just up from this called the Hunter, the Nell Hunter.
Yeah,
which my friends have been using to great advantage.
Nell do a stack of these coils, right? Let's just, I'll just throw it up here again.
Yep.
But that big coil, that's a 17 inch.
Yeah.
It's
I think that
15 by 17 or something
big,
like
I think.
that.
Yeah.
It is a monster coil.
It's a monster coil.
Yeah, 15 by 17.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost too big.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it'll give your arm a workout. Let's put it that way on the beach.
But geez, it goes deep.
It does go. It punches right down there.
So if you're using a Max or a Pro or they make these for basically every
right
machine.
Across the board, E-Trax, Pros, you name it.
Yeah, they don't do one for the 3030, do they?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Not yet.
No. But you will, if you change to an aftermarket coil, you will get better results.
You do.
And
absolutely.
It's the same with. It's the same. Nell's not the only one. There's Cores. There's Coiltech for the Minelab machines. Yeah. There's stacks and stacks of machines. There's stacks and stacks of them for all the different
manufacturers.
Tons
of them.
It was a long time before Garrett had aftermarket. You couldn't put an aftermarket coil on a Garrett for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
But
that's right.
These Nell coils they are dramatically improving those Garrett machines.
Yeah. So, like I've talked to heaps of people that have used these bigger coils, like the Nell Tornado, to just name one, has been a big hit on the AT Pro on the beach. Yeah. Right. So I'm really eagerly looking forward to finding out, to get some feedback how it's gonna work on the Max.
Yeah.
Because the Max is just a step up now.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, Karen, which is the best coil to use on the AT Pro? I mean, I would. That coil there is probably not a bad coil. It depends what you're doing. If you're on the beach, you'd want a bigger coil than that to go down deeper. But if you're out trying to find some relics in a really trashy area, you'd want to put a small coil on it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Karen. I would probably go to the small coil if we're going out hunting relics.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've used these or not, Karen, but maybe the AT Pro, I take it you have an AT Pro. I would probably go for the 5/8 coil, and if you're going to hunt relics and you're going to hunt coin in trashy parks, I would leave her on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go. And what I tend to do is, if I use the AT Pro on the beach, I would go back to the standard coil, because you just got a little bit more coverage. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think you can go wrong with the standard coils. And you'd probably, if I was in that situation, I had an AT Pro with a standard coil on it, I would then look at what I do the most. So if I'm out hitting the beach most of the time, and then I don't do much relic stuff or gold or anything like that, I would probably buy a bigger coil.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. And vice versa, if I was doing relics, I would probably, and I went to the beach once in a blue moon, I would probably keep the standard coil it came with for the beach and go for a smaller coil to hit the relics. So that's probably how I'd run that. But there's horses for courses.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. So everyone's different. Everyone's going to find it different. You know, you're going to find it. That's why I said, like last time I came in with the CTX, you know, you're going to try some new programs, and you're going to hunt for remember the stainless steel? The lady that was trying to, you know, you've got to do those air tests, and you've got to try the different modes until you find something that's working for you. Yeah. And see, it's similar to this.
See, this is the Nell big coil. It's the big giant thing, right? So, like, it is you will get dramatically more depth than a standard coil.
Absolutely.
Like, dramatically more depth.
Yeah, more coverage. It's 920 grams, so she's a big one.
Yeah. So that's almost a kilo. I don't know what that little one is. I haven't got it up here, but it'd be only half that.
I don't think it's on there, mate.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But you see how on that graphic there that what you're getting a lot of depth. You're getting 10 out of 10 depth, right? Yep. But the separation between targets goes down, and the sensitivity to small targets. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're looking for small targets, you want a small coil.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
So
I would just, like, if I was using this on the beach, it'd be like, you know, my God, I'd be there for another 2 hours trying to cover
the same area. And the targets are bigger.
The targets are bigger.
And then normally you're not sitting two together. So
yep, exactly.
Yeah, you want a bigger
spread,
want a bigger coil.
You want that coverage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So right. So
what do we got?
What's the Coiltech coils like worth buying? Coiltech coils are very good coils, Daniel.
One of the best aftermarkets, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially the Elite.
Yeah.
The Elite coils are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think we've got something here, the Elite coil. Well, it's a bit of marketing stuff, but from Garrett, but not Garrett. Who are they again? Coiltech. That's them. Yeah. Don't worry about me. My tongue's tied up. Friday night. I haven't had a beer yet, so I'm struggling.
That's right. Yeah, we do need a beer, don't we?
Yeah. So
getting hot in where we are.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So you can see there. I mean, you need to take all these claims with a grain of salt, and I don't care whether it's Coiltech or Nell or Garrett or Minelab or anyone. Yep. That graphic there shows that you're going to get twice the depth.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Geez, I don't know whether but they are dramatically better, and that's the Elite coil. I know that graphic's a bit blurry, but
mate, they're always going to promote it.
You know, absolutely.
I mean, that's a fabulous,
like. The graphics are, it's just, but that's what you.
But from a standard, I think what you're trying to say, from a standard coil point of view, you're going to enhance it slightly. You're going to enhance your machine, complement your machine, and you're going to go further.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to go deeper, and you're going to find more targets.
Yeah, so that's what you're there for. You don't want to be
you are better off. You are better off with I think you're better off with an aftermarket coil. Yeah. Certainly not to start with. Get used to, so here's another thing, right? When you buy a machine, if you buy a second coil, right, pick one coil and don't change it until you know that machine back to front.
Absolutely.
Because when you change the coil, it changes the machine, you learn the bloody machine all over again.
Absolutely
so
what Karen was saying, and also Daniel was saying, Karen asked, what do you think is the best for the AT Pro? In the wet sand, which is the best coil? Is the 5/8 coil good in the sand?
Well, the beauty of so the downside of putting a big coil under it on a machine is there's a lot of ground underneath the machine.
Yep.
So if you're going in a really highly mineralised ground, you probably don't want a big giant coil, right? This is a balancing act here.
That's a good point, yeah.
So on the beach, you might not want to go for a big 15 by 17 coil. You might want to go mid-size coil, like the Hunter, which is, I think, 12 by something.
Yeah, there's a compromise there.
Yeah.
Another thing too is with the wet sand guys, again, looking at the machines, and my experience with the AT Pro, and I've had the AT Pro with my wife for quite a number of years, before the CTX came along.
Yeah.
And we were finding that the 5/8, we've tried the 5/8 coil in the wet sand. It is fantastic in the dry, but in the wet sand, it's not necessarily the actual coil itself, it's the machine. We were finding that the AT Pro, do you find that too? The AT Pro doesn't balance too well in the wet sand?
Yeah.
Because of the mineralisation, maybe?
It depends. And I've heard reports about this with the Max too. So where I go, down the Gold Coast, I don't have any problems with the Pro or the Max.
Yep.
You get into areas that are less sand and more mud. I'm not talking about like mud flats. I'm just talking about that there's mud or there's dirt in the soil and black sand. They can really play up.
Oh, the iron.
Right. So, like there is places on the Gold Coast I can go, like some of the corners of the beach where that black sand collects down there, and it becomes like the AT Pro becomes uncontrollable. But 90% of the time I have no trouble with the Pro. You know, so that's another horses for courses, depending on what beach you're at.
Yep.
You know,
actually, adding to that, we are skipping back to the concentric coil. We had one beach which was where was it now?
Geez,
Scarborough.
Oh, look at that! Pete, he's just given away one of his secret spots here. Yes.
Anyway, we're down at Scarborough, right? We're down at Scarborough. We could go up to, say, Noosa or something like that. We can take this. We had a 150 and we had the AT Pro, both working on the same beach.
Yeah.
You could walk straight onto Noosa or one of those beaches up the north coast. No problems at all.
Yep.
Both would find, so you can concentric and the double D working hand in hand, beautiful. We go down to, say, Scarborough or something like that.
Yep.
We walk onto the beach, same machines, same coils. Concentric goes nuts, absolutely goes nuts, because we were feeling that the actual salt content and mineralisation in the actual sand was working against the actual concentric coil.
Yeah.
But the double D never ever faltered until you went down into the wet sand.
Yeah.
And then balancing the actually AT Pro was a nightmare.
Yeah.
We had to back the sensitivity right back to 2 notches, which obviously reduces your depth.
Yeah.
So you're not really finding anything.
No.
You're getting ring pulls.
Yeah. So it's a big balancing act. So yes. So yeah. So Brian, sort of going back to that that big giant coil we had.
Yep.
Up here, the big. Let me put it back up there. Brian's just saying 6 to 10 for separation. So what that means, Brian, is let's say this blue pen, actually, let me just fix this up so you can actually see what's going on here. So when we're talking about separation, Brian, we might have a good target, which is this blue pen here, right? And right next to it, we might have a nail that's a crap target. So as a machine swings over that, it won't pick up, like if it's got good separation, you'll hear both targets. If it's got rubbishy separation on it, you'll only hear one of those targets, and normally it's the crap target.
Yep.
So that's the downside of separation.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
But there's a way around it. What you can do is generally a lot of detectorists, when they actually find a target, they'll do the cross.
Yeah.
So you'll go one way and then you'll spin around and do it the other way. So when you're having this compromise, we might call it, it helps to have the right type of, what am I looking for here? Technique, the right type of technique to get around those sorts of things, so you can strike that compromise.
Yeah. And that's just getting to know the machine and getting to know what that coil does, and so that's that. So hello Henny, Daniel's here,
No worries,
Brian, no aftermarket coil for the Deus machine.
No.
But the HF coils, we do sell a few of those HF coils, and I believe they're very, very, I haven't used them a hell of a lot, but the little one I used out in the goldfields there last week seemed very, very sensitive. It seemed and controllable, like the whole machine was very controllable. So yeah, if you're an experienced Deus user, right, you won't have any problem transitioning to the HF coil. But I don't know whether you'd do it. Certainly, if you want to go prospecting, your HF coil would be phenomenal. That little elliptical, there's an elliptical coil. That's the one I got. I'd use prospecting. It was fantastic. Okay. So, there is no aftermarkets for the Deus, but they do a good selection of them. So, and it's because of how they work. Like, it's not easy because the coil, knocking everything over here. That's how the coil comes.
That's it. There's no cables.
There's no cables. There's no nothing. So, that's hard for a manufacturer to make that. When they could just punch out you know, Minelab or Garrett coils,
Yeah.
and then particularly in Australia, because this machine is a bit of a, I reckon it's a bit of a hidden secret.
I think it is. Yeah,
You
it's
know.
big in the UK, isn't it?
Huge in the UK.
Really love it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you don't see
Absolutely
too much in the US either. It's just the UK.
Yeah. Well, it's French.
Yeah, it is French.
Yeah,
So
it's,
it makes sense.
it's amazing that the English have taken it on.
I
No,
know.
normally anything French, they bloody, it's gone. But
And it's super light too, isn't it? Even with the bigger coil.
yeah.
Super
Like
light.
with that big coil, like that's only a 12 or 13 inch coil. That's just over a kilo.
I know,
the whole
it's
machine.
crazy.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy.
It's madness. I'm looking forward to using that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be
because
good, I
it's. I'm used to dragging around ATXs and these big heavy machines.
And I'll be kind of bashing through the bush with the CTX, you know, like,
Yeah.
and you just be swinging past.
yeah,
me on the
exactly. Yeah. Just swinging past.
So
nice
you
and
sell
easy.
you sell these machines here.
Yeah, we sell Dias. We sell we sell a lot of brands here. So
And they come with a skid plate too?
yes,
It's all included?
yes,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they talk to the
Oh,
Pro
they talk
Pointer.
to the Pro Pointer.
yeah, which is good.
That's
So,
right. Okay, yeah.
I've never
I did
used
see that.
I've never used one of these before, but tomorrow's the first day. I don't know whether I like the sound.
Yeah.
I like. I
Yeah,
don't-
it takes some getting used to.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
That's how you play with
It's
it
really
before.
proportional.
Yeah.
It's very switched on. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these have actually got coils in them too, obviously. So they're their own legitimate little metal detector themselves,
Yep.
and they got a little coil in the end of it too. So
Yeah.
you've got to be careful. Very sensitive little bit of equipment, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
You can't be going tapping them on your shovel type of thing.
No, you don't want to bash them up too much. Mind you, some of those the Garrett ones, we've had them come back to the shop, say, "Oh, this is faulty," and it's seriously, it's rubbed this much off the plastic casing. Like people have just scratched and scratched and
Oh, my
scratched.
God.
Like they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I've seen them worn away, like
But
the
right
tips back, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Insane.
people just.
Give them a caning.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right. G'day, Sean. How are you? Nice to see you here. Sue's here. Sue's off to Bingara this week to do some fosking. Good luck with that, Sue.
Daniel's picked up a 705 Minelab for coins in Toowoomba.
Yeah, that's quality.
That's a good little machine.
Yeah, good little
705
machine.
Xterra, they're
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You can get aftermarket coils for those as well.
Yeah, Josh is here. Anyone that's late too, this will replay straight after we finish the live.
Yep.
And for those that don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers, and Craig from Aussie Metal Detecting, which is the world's best Facebook page. So
You're a shocker, mate. It's shocking.
he's also got he also runs a buy, sell,
Sell or
swap. What's it called again?
Yeah, Metal Detecting and Prospecting Gear Australia.
That's right. Yes. So and it's an incredible. It's a good bit of gear too, because Craig spends his life scrolling Gumtree
Pretty much.
and puts everything on there. So it's a quality piece of gear. So
absolutely.
go and join up to the Facebook page there.
Yep.
And don't forget to share this video, because if you share this video, I'm going to
There it
pick
is.
a random person. That's 12,000 waypoints there.
No, it's not gold.
No, it's just a USB stick.
Look, I nearly took off out the door when I arrived. I was just waiting for him to turn his head, but
I wouldn't leave it lying. Well, in saying that, I wouldn't leave it lying around.
he's
There's a
got
little
too
bit
much
there.
security,
So,
unfortunately.
but so I'm going to send that out to someone on Monday.
Right.
But
Got a good gear
you've
on
got
there.
to share. You've got to share the
Yep.
stream
Yep,
so that we
Absolutely.
get it out there a little bit more.
absolutely.
Right. So
Good stuff.
the Nugget Finder 14 in round
Can I?
is an Evo.
I just thought of something too.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're ready, mate.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on something. Coil covers or skid
Yes.
plates,
Yep.
right? A lot of the coils these days are actually coming out with these skid plates.
Yep.
And it's very important too. Some people don't realise how much damage you can actually do to the bottom of your coil without one of these. And as we know, coils are very expensive aftermarket thing. So it pays to not only to look after your machine, but also look after the business end of it, which is here.
Yep.
So you can buy these aftermarket coil covers. I don't know whether Garrett's actually supplying their new machines with covers. But I believe that
some of them, yeah.
Some of them,
yeah,
but you can buy coil covers
yeah,
through you guys as well.
Yeah. If there's a coil, like say for instance with Garrett and with Bounty Hunter and Deus, if we sell the coil or the coil's available, we try to keep everything in stock. So
that's good to know.
If you ever break one, I've normally got a coil cover sitting in stock.
Sweet.
So they're awesome. Disposable sort of thing. So the other thing too is you'll find that some coils are a hollow coil, like that's a hollow coil, right? So when you rub away that plastic, you expose the windings. Yeah. You look at the Garrett coils, right, which we haven't got here at the moment, but they're what they call a potted coil. Yep. So they sit the coil on the deck there, they lay the windings in it, and the windings actually sit up on the top of the coil, and then they pour like a hard resin over it. So those Garrett coils are actually a lot more harder wearing than what these Deus machines are, or the Nell coils are, because you can actually wear half of the coil away virtually on the Garrett machines, and I've seen them where half the tip of the coil is worn away. Absolutely. It doesn't affect the performance of the machine because all the windings are in the top of the coil because they lay it down and pour the resin in, and the windings sit in the bottom here. So, you know, so that's the...
And the other thing too is like if you do like going into water, so if you're wading out into rivers and creeks and you're detecting as well, it doesn't hurt to check your coil. Inspect your coil, have a look around it, make sure that if you're not using a skid plate, which I highly Ben and I highly recommend you do, right? Check it, make sure that there's no splits or breaks, check your cables. Cable health is very important because if you're bashing through the bush like I do, you know, it's nothing to be able to get a split. So check it all before you go in the water, for God's sake, because as soon as it goes in the water, if you've got a split, obviously you've done your coil. Yeah. It's going to get straight into working. Some of these
machines too, I was working on it and I haven't heard back from someone. Yeah. But I'm looking at, we're looking at, you know your cover that you've got on that. Oh, the cover from those guys in the
protectors.
In the UK.
That's the symbol.
What they do a shaft cover for a lot of machines.
They do.
And what it does is it protects your shaft. Yep. Right. Yeah. Then you wrap the coil cable over the top of that. Yep. That doesn't seem like a lot of sense to me. So what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to get a wrap that wraps over the whole shaft and the cable.
The cable. That's
cable as well.
Yeah, sure.
So the only bit exposed is the bit right on the bottom of the thing.
That's good.
So at some stage, I've got to go and chase that guy up and find out what happened to. It's jogged my memory there tonight. So yes. So Brian asks, what is the best pro pointer? I reckon MI6 or the Garrett Carrot.
Yep. I don't have it here tonight.
No.
I do have it here tonight.
Do you?
Excuse me.
That's all right. Craig's disappeared. So there it is, Garrett Carrot.
There's the Garrett Carrot right there.
There's new ones coming out all the time.
Yep.
There's the Pulse, the F Pulse is coming out. I actually think it's not too far away. Mine had bought out a few. When I get that F Pulse, we're just going to do a show on pro pointers. Yep. I'm going to set up a test somehow or other, a test that will say, well, this one you've got to be touching, this one you've got to be 2 inches, you know, just to give people some idea. Yep. And that might be a bit of fun. We might even involve a second camera. We might even put a camera over.
Yeah, that'd be good, an overhead. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how the hell to do that, but
I don't know. We'll suss it out.
Daniel, don't buy a long range detector. In fact, no one buy a long range detector for one reason only, is because if long range detectors work, every pro in Australia, pro metal detectors would have it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They don't. That means they don't work. So unless some piece of technology has come out that I don't know about and every other professional prospector in the country doesn't know about, sorry mate.
And if it was there, I mean, can you imagine the cost? You know, you've got to be pretty fair dinkum.
Yeah. And what's it going to do? Clean out every piece of gold in a whole cut? Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. What else about cleaning under the coil covers? Do you have to do it?
That's Daniel. Daniel. Yes, Daniel's a mate of mine.
Is he?
He is. Hey, Dan.
Poor
right.
bugger.
Very important. Very important. Cleaning underneath the coil covers. And I'll tell you what, this is an absolute bugger to get off this now, because I know you blokes also use them, so you know what I mean. But if you can get them off, which I can't seem to get it off, oh, here it is. You got to clean under these, guys. It is very important to clean under these, because you can get little bits of crap and salt and God knows what else can sit underneath these, and it is absolutely going to cause it havoc.
Yep.
So yes, it is very, very important. It's like cleaning. When you come back from the field, it doesn't hurt. It pays to spend probably 10, 15 minutes to wipe your machine down, check the cables, clean out your coils, give them a wipe, dry them off so there's no moisture under there. It's just basic housekeeping, really.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me.
Well, I don't clean my coil cover.
You don't?
Very frequently.
Well, there you go. There's some honesty right there.
Yeah. And really, I know one machine that I'm thinking of at the moment. I think the last time I called it was when I broke the coil cover, and I wiped it over with a rag and put a new one on. Like.
Are you talking about the beach machine? So you like
No. It was a prospecting machine.
Oh, the prospecting machine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like, I get it. You should do it, and I should do it.
You should do it, but I mean, sometimes we don't wash the car for 3 or 4 weeks.
Or months.
Or months. Like I see out there sometimes.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so like, it is a good idea.
It's
Whether
a
you
great
get around
idea.
to doing it or not is another thing, right?
Yeah. My beach machine's sitting out there on the counter. I don't know whether you saw it as walking.
I did.
It's still covered in sand.
Yeah. That's why I said, are you going tonight or what?
Yeah. No, I'm going in the morning with you, Blake. So, right. Karen, the skid plate, the coil cover doesn't interfere with the sound of the machine. You don't lose any depth, or it doesn't interfere with the machine at all.
No.
So don't be worried about that. Cleaning. How deep can a Pro Pointer detect a target? This might be our test. So, that's starting to, that's picking it up only from, I don't know what the settings are on this, but it's an inch or two away.
This is not an easy answer, this.
No, it's not. So, well, I could brush over it, but that's an inch or so.
Yeah, and I've got it set, and it's about settings too.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them about the settings?
Yeah.
Safer on the carrot.
So, if you hold the button down, it'll beep twice, and then you've got 6 settings. 6 settings, yeah. So there's 3 beeps, 1 vibrate, which it makes for great television, vibrating.
Yeah.
That's 2 vibrates, 3 vibrates, 1 beep, 2 beeps, 3 beeps. So that's the strongest.
Yep.
So, and that will go like that, and it's back into working mode. Yep. So that's sort of
battery in it, by the way.
Inch and a half sort of thing. Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah. The signal, how far it can pick it up is affected by battery strength.
Yep.
So 2.5 inches is probably in the range,
I can get, right, this is no ball, okay, so when I put a brand new battery in it, a good quality battery, all right, it's got to be good quality batteries. You put a good quality battery in there and I put it on full strength, audible, on that setting, I can almost pick up that target from that far away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely, especially in sand. Yeah. Now, obviously, the denser the ground, you're not going to go as far. And it goes with any detector in any coil. Yeah, that's right. So, but I'm going to go into this in great detail when this new Pro Pointer comes out. I've been waiting for this F-Pulse. Yeah. Because this is it's basically a VLF, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
And their pulse machine.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very interesting. Covering that with
There is a pulse machine already, a pulse pinpointer. It's a Land and Sea, I think.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
It's bright yellow or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
And
big looking thing with a.
No, I don't think it's much longer than this, but yeah,
Okay.
it just looks like a normal pro point. But
Oh yeah. Okay. Must be the
they're
old
not very available in Australia. Like there's not many of them around. So so right. Alison, how are you? Alison, Henny's here. Good on you, Henny. Mark, fishing rod covers. Yes.
Cleggy's on.
Cleggy's on. Where?
Cleggy's on. Same system with the MI6, mate. Hole for 3 seconds,
Seven tones.
Good
Try
one.
the third one. What's so good about
Definitely,
the third
Justin.
one, Cleggy? So, right. So, Trevor tapes his coil.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to prevent the dirt getting on.
Yep.
So, yes. So, I've heard of people doing that as
I
well.
know a few people that do that. They actually zip tie it.
Yep.
Or they tape it.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, stop it.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem. I don't worry about it with mine.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't use mine hard enough. I'm not going
Yeah.
swinging across
And
that.
it's a
It's an idea.
12 kilohertz. So, Justin will be really impressed with me because I'm running the Deus tomorrow.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep.
Justin, it's
12 kilohertz. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this tomorrow, Cleggy, and we're going hunting some
We're going to
dumps tomorrow.
dump hunting, so it's going to be interesting.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yes.
You're going to give them an update on the next one? You'll have to give some kind of feedback.
Yes, I will. Yeah. No. I actually plan to take some video tomorrow.
Good.
And if you're around, I may even do a live stream if we find anything decent.
Yeah.
So
that'd be good.
yeah. You know, just for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Dee's asked how much the Deus is. Sorry,
The
mate.
Deus is
Look over your shoulder.
yeah. The Deus is $18.99 without headphones and one coil. Basically any coil. There's about 5 or 6 different coils. The headphones, I think, make it about $23.99, $24.99. So
That's
yeah.
that upgrade kit, is it?
No, it's just headphones.
It's just the
It
headphones.
comes with headphones,
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
okay,
So,
yeah.
and then there's a 2 coil pack that's $2,600, something like
Yep,
that.
yep.
So it's not a bad one. So
Just a question about the Deus. I think we touched on it last time. There was a separate cable
Yes.
that you can buy. So if you're water hunting, is that
yes,
correct?
$100. It's a cable. So for your $100, it's a underwater kit. Well, it's a waterproof kit.
Yep.
It clips onto the coil.
Yep.
The cable runs up the shaft, right, and you just attach it just at the back here, sort of
Oh, yeah.
thing. So the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi doesn't work underwater. So Wi-Fi, and then it also comes with a waterproof connect cover for that, a waterproof
handy, though.
perfector. So $100. I haven't got them in stock. I haven't got them in stock at the moment, but I've just ordered them. So
Sure.
Cleggy, here's nice one. Have fun with it. Follow that CTX and you'll do well. Yeah, don't worry. I've already followed. I don't know what Warren's using tomorrow. It'll be probably the Max.
So what
And,
are you trying to say? There's going to be 2 of them following me?
And they
Jeez.
and the yeah, it's a bit of a head-to-head.
I don't like related attention, you know.
It's a bit of a head-to-head tomorrow because you're on the Mine Lab.
Yeah.
I think Warren will be on the Garrett machine,
Yeah.
and I'll be on the Deus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Brian's saying the Deus is worth every cent. Yes, they are.
Yes.
They're a good machine.
They are a good
really
machine, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, you just look at the guys in UK, they're all over the place.
Yeah,
Deus,
absolutely.
Deus,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a hidden. I think it's a bit of a hidden treasure in
I think
Australia.
so.
Yeah. It's as far as the market goes, it's completely underrated, dramatic, untapped. No one talks about it, and
No.
it is just a cracking machine. So,
No worries there.
from what I hear, anyway. So,
Right.
and I've
What
used
else
it a
have we
little bit. Well, it's sort of about time. I suppose we'd better pick the.
Jeez, it is too.
Who won the USB stick with all my GPS locations on it? So we've got that we've got that there.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, we'll enjoy it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow should be good.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot.
Oh, I think it will be. Get out early. We're getting out early, though. That's the main thing. So,
that won't be right.
So, the GPS waypoints go to a Michael. Where's Michael from?
Michael Crofton.
Yes.
Right.
Michael.
Congratulations, Michael.
Michael, congratulations. I'll contact you directly after the show, and I'll drop this in the mail Monday or Tuesday for you.
Yep.
And we can, so they're fantastic. Also, that comes with it is a little card that tells you how to operate it. So don't worry if you're not too flash on the computer sort of thing. So there's a card that tells you how to do it. And if you ring the shop, if you really struggle with it, if you ring the shop, I have my offsider Natalie is just phenomenal with it. She actually helps me with mine, so she'll talk you through it. So
great crew at the shop.
Yeah, so
help me out.
Right, who else have we got? Cameron. G'day, Cameron. Thanks for that. We'll have good luck. I don't know about a Bliss Tool version 6. I might have to go and look at it. Yeah, Trevor, the store's open Saturday, 7 days a week. If you, I'm normally here Saturdays. I know next week we're at the the Redcliffe show. Yep. So, like for instance, I'm not here that Saturday or Sunday sort of thing, but I am here a few times. So Trevor, give us a call at the shop, or if you really want to come and see me.
Sure.
And then don't forget, Warren is on at the. Warren's coming with us at the show next week at Redcliffe, and I've just heard you might be there for a day or two. Or
I'm going to come down. I'll probably be down there for the Saturday morning, or probably the day. I'll be down there. I should be able to get down there for the day. So if you want to come down, say good day.
Yeah. So that's at Redcliffe. That's at the showgrounds at Redcliffe. So Warren from NQ Explorer, the movie star, he will be there.
Come and see Warren.
I'll be there. I'll be there doing all the labour, and then
have you worked off his feet? Running around all over the place.
And then Craig's coming down too. So, so the Facebook page is here. We go. Let me just do this for you. That's Bradley. That's the Facebook page. Aussie Metal Detecting. If you look for the Orange Australia, that's the right page.
Come on, be part of the fun. Add some stuff.
And it's one of the better groups on the Facebook.
That's it.
Yes. So
thanks, Ben. That's appreciate it, mate. Yeah.
So right. So we might say good night tonight. Michael, you'll get this. So next week's show, we're not quite sure of what's happening because it might be live from the show. I think the show closes at 5 or 6 o'clock, but so I think we might be booted out before we can do the show. But it might be from the shop here. It might be from the beach at Redcliffe. Who knows what we'll do? But
would it be possible we could do an earlier show, maybe?
Well, we could, but everyone's sort of used to 7:30.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
Yeah. We might do a live. We might do. I'll tell you what we'll do. We might do on each day when we're quiet there. We might just jump on for 10 minutes and tell people what's happening and what have you. And if you've got any questions about the show or anything like that, you can ask us, sort of thing. So,
definitely. Yep.
And all three of us. Well. We'll all stick our heads up there at some stage. So
and if you want any advice or something on the detectors, you know, all three of us are pretty good with the Garretts and all the rest of it too. So we can help
Well,
you out.
and don't forget at the show. So if you're up that way and want to look at a machine, or you want me to talk you through a machine, or Warren to talk you through a machine, we're going to have XP machines there. We're going to have Bounty Hunter machines there. We're going to have Technetics. We're going to have Garrett there.
Definitely.
So there's going to be a lot of machines there. There's going to be machines for kids, you know, those little blue. We've got a stack of those machines, right up to $5,000 ATXs sort of thing. So everything's going to be there. So if you want to come along, we're more than happy to chat about metal detecting.
Sure.
We do chat a lot about metal detecting.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
till the cows come home.
Yes. Righto. So thank you. And longer. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, Craig, for coming along. It's a pleasure having you here again.
Pleasure being here.
And Jess, if you can like the page and share it and go and see Craig's Facebook page, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, more than merry.
Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you next week.